Shall we start, sir?
Yes, yes, Sabri, sir. Let's
Okay, sir. Fine. Thank you, sir. A very pleasant evening to all the distinguished dignitaries, our respected resource person, beloved faculty members, and the vibrant participants joining us from different corners of the world. On behalf of the MEASI Institute of Information Technology, it gives me immense delight to welcome you all to yet another enlightening session of our online international faculty development program titled Emerging Frontiers in Generative AI and Deep Learning from Vision to Language. As we gather today, the final day of FDP, to immerse ourselves in knowledge and intellectual exploration, let us begin with spiritual grace and tranquility. To invoke peace and divine guidance, I respectfully invite Mr. A.K. Mohammed Gauss, Assistant Professor, to render the Kirat and bless this academic gathering. Over to you, sir.
sir. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاسات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس صدق الله العظيم. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for the calming and soul soothing recitation. To officially open today's session with warmth and enthusiasm and to introduce our distinguished speaker, I now call upon Dr. B. Hidayat Nisa, Assistant Professor, to deliver the welcome address followed by an insightful introduction of today's esteemed resource person, Dr. S. Rajashekharan. Please proceed, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. A very warm and pleasant good evening to everyone gathered here. On behalf of MEASI Institute of Information Technology, Royapeta, Chennai, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this 5-day International Faculty Development Program. FDPs play a vital role in enriching our knowledge, upgrading our teaching skills, and helping us stay updated with emerging trends in academia and research. We are honored to have among us today our esteemed resource person, Dr. S. Rajashekharan, a distinguished professor, accomplished researcher, and highly respected academic administrator. His vast experience, global exposure, and significant contribution to the field of computer science will undoubtedly enlighten and inspire all of us. I also welcome our beloved director, Dr. M. Usha, respected HOD, Dr. M. D. Vimalapriya, and I extend a warm welcome to all faculty members, participants, organizers, and coordinators who have joined us for this program. Your presence will make this event meaningful and successful. Let this FDP be an opportunity for learning, collaboration, and innovation. I wish each one of you a productive and enriching experience. Once again, I welcome you all wholeheartedly. Thank you. It gives me a great pleasure to introduce Dr. S. Rajashekharan, an eminent academician and accomplished researcher with over 25 years of rich teaching and administrative experience in India and abroad. He is presently serving as a professor and registrar in the Department of Computing and Information Science at the University of Technology and Applied Science, Ibri, Sultanate of Oman. Dr. Rajashekharan has made significant contributions to academia through his extensive research and mentorship. Under his guidance, 76 MPhil scholars have successfully completed their research and has published more than 25 research articles in reputed international journals. He also holds 7 Indian patents, 1 Australian patent, and has contributed 10 book chapters. His expertise is further recognized through his role as an editorial board member for over 20 international journals. He is a highly sought after speaker and has delivered more than 100 special talks at international conferences, webinars, and FDPs across India, Bangladesh, Ethiopia, and Oman. He has also served as an advisory committee member, TPC member, and reviver for more than 50 international conferences. Before joining UTAS, he has served as the head of the Department of Computer Science at Vivekananda College of Arts and Science for Women, where he played key roles in curriculum design, examination supervision, NSS activities, and academic development initiatives. His dedication and excellence have earned him several accolades, including the Best Teacher Award, Best Employee Awards, and multiple appreciation certificates from UTAS IBRI. We are honored to have such a distinguished academician with us today. Please join me in welcoming Dr. S. Rajashekaran to address the session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for the warm welcome and the graceful introduction of our honored speaker. And now, the moment we have the eagerly awaited. We are truly privileged to have Dr. S. Rajashekaran with us today. Your vast expertise and experience will undoubtedly shed new light on today's theme. Sir, the virtual platform is yours, sir.
Good evening to all. Am I audible, sir?
Yes,
Yes,
sir,
sir,
sir.
yes, sir.
You're audible, sir.
Respected management, principal, director, head of the department, and the faculty members of this institution, and all the participants, very good evening to one and all present here. It's my pleasure to share my experiences on the topic data-driven innovations, machine learning technique as a practical approach in this forum. And I would like to thank for the management and the department faculty members for giving me this opportunity to serve as a guest speaker in this FDP. And my session, I'm planning to cover some libraries in Python, some data structures which we used for our practical exercises, data visualization techniques, machine learning techniques, implementing machine learning techniques with real-time examples. Most of the faculty members, they are practiced with Python nowadays. We know the reason why we are moving towards Python. Even when I was a student or when I started my career as a lecturer or assistant professor or even professor now, even we are not starting with Python. When I was a student, I just studied up to C++. Even Java, while my PG project, I studied by my own as a private. That is not in my curriculum. But now we moved towards the lot of developments. Since IT, we are developing every day. And Python is the most important tool which helps you to implement everything. Even you want to develop a website or standalone applications or any kind of security program or preparing the visualization techniques or everything, whatever program, whatever things you want to implement, which is very easy to implement since we have huge number of libraries available in Python. So this is the major reason why people are moving towards Python, since it is easy to implement everything, whatever task you want to do. Let me explain few important libraries which I'm going to use in this presentation. NumPy, we know why we are using NumPy for scientific computing, a general purpose array processing package. It provides high performance multi-dimensional array objects and tools to work with an array. So you can create an array, you can do any kind of manipulations in it. Pandas take a data in CSV file or Excel file, whatever you want, and you can able to do all kind of SQL queries, or even there are a lot of operations we can do in Pandas. If you want to select few columns or cleaning, sorting, many things we can do it with the help of this Pandas data frame, which we are going to see in detail in today's session. Matplotlib, which helps to generate data visualization such as two-dimensional diagrams and graphs. Scikit-learn, it features ML algorithm like SVM, random forest, k-means clustering. Many machine learning techniques uh, are implemented, or many built-in libraries are defined in this. So you can just import the library and you can use it easily, very simple, because most of the researchers, they are feeling struggle to process or analyze their data. But with the help of these SEI Scikit-learn algorithm, we can able to implement everything easily. TensorFlow is an AI library that helps developers to create large-scale neural networks with many layers using data flow graphs. Django high-level Python web framework. These are the sample libraries which I would like to show you today. There were huge number of libraries which will support you to help to develop any kind of applications. I just would like to start with the basic data structures which we are using in Python. We have list, tuple, set, and dictionary. But almost see all are same, which stores the collection of values. This is list. You can store the list of values and it is mutable. You can change the list values. Whereas tuple, the list is represented with the square bracket and the tuple is represented with parenthesis, which is immutable, means you cannot change the tuple values. And we have sets. We know the set, and in mathematics everybody might have studied. There are so many set operations like union, intersection, minus, everything we can able to do it with this. And the set values are not in order. It will not allow the duplicate values. Even though you create the duplicate values, see, we have 4 two times. When you set how many values are there, or when you print this set, 4 will print only once. The first 4 occurrence of 4 will be considered and the last one will be rejected. Similarly, first occurrence of 2 will be considered and first occurrence of 6 will be considered. The total number of elements in this set, only 4. Because this 6, 2 and 4 are repeated, the duplicate values will not be allowed. And we have dictionary like data and value pair. This is name, Raja, age 43, qualification. Like we can keep this as a dictionary. Even here also duplicate keys are not allowed. Let me show this as an exercise, because see here, I think my Python screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir, it's visible, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
so much. So see, we have very simple strings. You can do, there are so many slicing operations. These things are not required. Let me start with the dictionary, or because these are all very basics and most of the faculties are aware. So this is a list. We can store the list of values, any type of value, even string or characters also be allowed. So I can create a list and then print. We have so many operations, adding the element, changing the element, finding with the index value. I think that is up to you. Just I wanted to show you we have list and list is mutable. We have tuple, tuple is immutable. Set is not in order and it does not allow the duplicate values. So even though if I have given 6 values or 7 values, the duplicate values will be ignored by the set. It will take only these 4 values, and this is dictionary. So these are the, see here, when I run this code in the set, I have only 4 values because it will not allow the duplicate values. And this is dictionary, this is a tuple, this is list. These are the 4 different data structures which we are using. We have so many operations in it. I don't want to highlight those operations. Let me move to the pandas because our ultimate aim is to complete the machine learning algorithm. So we know why we are using pandas, as I discussed with you already, which will allow you to create the data set. So here I'm just using my data set and this is my dictionary. In this dictionary, I have the value cars and passings. Cars has 3 values, passings has 372, 2 list. And from this, I just convert into data frame. PD is pandas object. Whatever object name you used here, you can use PD dot data frame of my data set. So this data set will be converted into data frame and that values are stored in this DF. When I print DF, it will print like a matrix format, rows and columns. So I have 3 rows because cars have 3 values, BMW, Volvo and Ford. So 3 cars and 3 passings, the values are. Similarly, you can create the series also with the help of pandas. This is the series of value, means one-dimensional array. You can create this and even here automatically generates the index 0, 1, 2. If you want to keep your own index, you can use index is equal to X, Y, Z, A, B, Z, whatever it is. It will keep your index value. So index 0 instead 0, it will consider index X. Instead 1, it will be Y, Z. Likewise, the panda is used to create one-dimensional array and two-dimensional array of data. These are the very simple data which we are going to store. Apart from this, the pandas are used, the data frame is used to store your Excel or CSV file. So you can upload your Excel or CSV file here and with the help of read underscore CSV function. So this pandas dot read underscore CSV. If your file is CSV file, you can use read underscore CSV. In case your file is Excel file, your extension is XLX, you can use read Excel to upload your file. So here I just uploaded sample COVID data file. This is a very simple file to make you understand the concepts of data frame. Because later stage we will go with the with other programs with real-time data sets. So I just kept only 19 rows. See, when I run this code, it will just read the CSV file, store the data in the data frame object DF. Just print DF, it will print all the rows. I have 19 rows here, and these are the columns, like 3, 6, 8 columns are there in my data frame. Patient ID, name, gender, everything will be displayed. And one thing you must note here, we know the null values, the value which we don't know, are mentioned or represented in Python as NaN. Right here, if you want to check the type of the data frame, which is frame.data frame. If you want to see the columns, what are the columns are there in this Excel file or CSV file, it will list only the columns. What are the columns are there? And just you want to see only the particular column data, yes, TF of P name, which will display only the patient name. Fine, we know in SQL what we did, everything we can able to do it here. This describe is an interesting function which will give you the statistical information about the table, what you have about your data frame. That statistical information will be given only for the numerical data. So in my data set, I have two numerical data here, age and temperature. The rest of all are text. So there are two columns which is numerical type. So for these two numerical type, it will give you the statistical information about the numerical data available in your data source. Age and temperature. What are the statistical information? Count. How many data items are there? Since I have 20 rows, so the number of values are available is 20, but in temperature column, which is only 17, which means there are three values are null. This kind of statistical function, I mean, describe function normally will ignore the null value. Since three values are null in the temperature column, which is not counted, this mean is average. What is the standard deviation, what is minimum value in age and minimum value in the temperature, and what is 25% of value, what is 50% of values, what is 75%, and what is the maximum value in age column in temperature column. So the maximum value in age column is 54, temperature column is 104, minimum value is 24 in age and 101 in temperature. Fine. If you want to display it in transpose, we know the matrix transposed, right? Row and column will be interchanged. Just you can use dot t, it will transpose. See, now the age and temperature is in horizontal, like, and the all other statistical functions are in vertical. Fine. We have an interesting function in Python, which is head. Head function, which will give you the topmost 5 rows, the first 5 rows from the data set. Row number 0 to 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Head will give you top first 5 rows from the data set. Whereas if you pass explicit value, it will display only 2 rows. If you want to see only 2 rows, just head of 2. If you don't pass any argument, by default, it will display the top 5 rows. Like similarly, we have tail function, which will give you the last 5 rows, number 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, last 5 rows. In case if you pass any argument, by default, it will give you 5. If you pass the number, whatever number you give, 3 means 3 record, 10 means lost 10 records, whatever. So since I pass 3, it will give me only 3 records. We have many things, so many manipulations you can do it in this data frame. So in data frame, I want to display only p name, that too from row 0 to 5, 0:5. This is data slicing. When you use this data slicing, it will print up to 4, so last minus 1. So from 0 to 4, all the patient names will be displayed. We have another interesting function called LOC and ILOC. This also will give you the specific records which you want to access. Even in the records, you can access the specific columns, only those columns which you want to get. Like even you can display the specific row location or ILOC of 0. Row 0 will be displayed. For that 0, what is the patient ID, what is name, all those things. Similarly, iLOC of 15, 1, row 15, the first column value. Here, row 12, fifth column value. Like whatever manipulations you want, you can able to do it here. And you can also able to write some conditions here. DF of temp greater than 102. So whose temperature is greater than 102, only those rows will be displayed. See, out of 19, I have 6 rows whose temperature is more than 102. Like everything, whatever you are doing in your SQL data base, you can able to do it here. Gender is equal to male. It will select only whose gender is male. No female records will be selected. And even age is greater than 43. We know we have an option called in place. By default, this in place is equal to false. If you make it in place equal to true, the result will be stored in the actual data frame. Whatever query you execute, after executing the query, the result will be stored in the same data frame. but I don't want to change my actual data frame, so that the query will be executed whose age is greater than 43 in place equal to false, which means the actual data frame will not be changed. The result will be stored in the new data frame r is equal to df.query in place equal to false. So this query will be executed against your data frame, and the results will be stored in the new data frame. Now it will not change anything in your actual data frame. In case if you write in place equal to true, after executing the query, the result will be stored in your data frame, means the other records will be removed. So when I print or, see here whose age is greater than 43, only those records will be displayed. Like you can able to check multiple conditions with and or symbol. Everything is possible here in Python. There is no issue. You can write any kind of condition. You can filter your database. Fine. Apart from that, you can able to sort your records with the help of the name. So p name column I sorted. By default, it sorts the record in ascending order. Sort underscore values is the function in data frame. So this function will help you to sort the records. By default, it will sort in ascending order. So according to name, the records are sorted in ascending order. The index numbers are different because it is sorted in alphabetical order according to name. In case you want to sort according to age, yes, you can use the column age. Now, according to age column, the records are sorted in ascending order. Fine. Also, if you want to keep it in descending order, you can just make ascending is equal to false. When you just pass the argument ascending is equal to false, because by default ascending is equal to true, even if you don't specify, it will take ascending order. When you want descending order, you have to write ascending is equal to false. Then the data will be sorted in descending order according to the age column. So it starts from 54, 52, likewise. Sometimes you can sort by using multiple columns also. We know the logic, right? It will sort according to the first column. When the first column value are same for more than one record, then those records will be sorted based on the second column. We know the sorting logic like accordingly. Then you have the option attribute is ascending, which is equal to true or false. By default, ascending is false. Sorry, ascending is by default true. If you want in descending order, you have to write ascend is equal to false. And kind, there are so many sorting algorithms available. We know that merge sort, heap sort, quick sort, radic sort. There are so many sorting techniques available. Which sorting technique you want to use explicitly, but we cannot see how it is working. But we know the running time will be different according to your input data. So sometimes for some specific reason, I want to use quick sort. I can write kind is equal to quick sort. When I write kind is equal to quick sort, this will apply quick sort technique to sort the record. So if you want to use heap sort, you can write heap sort to sort your record. So whatever sorting technique you want, you can mention here under the kind attribute. The last one is NA position. This is very, very important. Where do you want to keep your null values? Whether you want to keep the null values at the beginning or end. If you use NA position equal to first, the null values will be displayed at the first. See here, I just keep the null values are first. Here I am sorting based on age. In case if I sort based on temperature, because null values are here, I have to specify first or last. If I keep first, the null values will be at the beginning. Then it will sort in ascending or descending, whatever order you mentioned. Let me show you the example here. So here, sometimes when you are using multiple columns, yes, you can use multiple column, but for both columns, I have to specify whether it is ascending or descending order. So here, since I specify multiple columns, ascending is equal to false, comma false. That means according to age, it is descending order. According to p name, also descending order. That is the second false represent. And the kind is equal to what kind of sorting you are going to use. So now it will sort based on age in descending order. when two rows have same value in age 52, it will sort based on the P name column. So P name Kumar, Jessica. It is also in descending order because I mentioned the second column also ascending is equal to false. Like you can see now, I'm sorting based on temperature. Na position equal to first. That means where to keep the null value. See here, the null values are at the beginning. Then it will sort based on the ascending order in temperature column. In case I use null position equal to last, see, it sorts the record based on the temperature in ascending order 101, 102, 103, 104, and the null values are kept row number 2, 9, 12. Even though it is row number 2, 9, 12, all the null values are at the bottom. So this is how you can arrange your informations as you like. Also, you can able to group your record like what you are doing in your DBMS. You can do group by gender. So now I'm group by gender. Actually, I have two values in gender column, female, male, and it gives me the count of each column. Patient ID, how many rows are there? Patient name, how many? All are having 11 and 9, but only temperature I have less because there are three values are null. Normally the group function will not consider the null value, so it is only 8. Even I can group based on the result column. In the result, I have only positive and negative. So this will give you the counting information because I'm using count function. Like you can use other functions also to calculate the average or mean median value, whatever you want. Apart from this, I can check how many null values are there in each column. Data frame dot is NA will check whether it is null or not, and sum will give you how many null values are there. In my database, I do not have null value in all the columns except the temperature. In temperature, I have three values are null. So other than that, no column have null values. All those are zero. Okay, now this is another interesting feature here. You can able to do some kind of cleaning. We know whenever you take the database or any data frame, before going for analysis, first you need to clean your data. This is primary task. All the researchers, you know that when you want to do some kind of research work, before going for the analysis, you must clean your data. Some kind of cleaning technique which I would like to show you here, which is very easy, very simple in Python. So df dot drop na. Sometimes, see, let me explain where you can able to simply drop the null values or where you can able to replace with some other values. For example, I have 1000 rows. Out of 1000, just 2 or 3 rows has null values. I can decide, being a data scientist, I can decide to drop the rows because out of 1000, these 3 rows will not play an impact in your data analysis. So when you have 1000 rows with out of 1003 are having null values, you can decide to drop those three values with the help of drop NA is the function which will simply remove the null values from your data set. See here, row number 2 I have null values which is removed. Row number 2 is not there, 0, 1, 3. Similarly, row number 9 is not there. Row number 12 is not there because these three rows, row number 12, 9 and sorry 2, 9 and 12 have null values. This simple drop NA function will simply delete the rows which having the null values. So this is the first choice you can delete. Sometimes I have 1000 rows. Out of 1000, 700 rows or 500 rows have null values. It is very difficult to remove all the 500 rows. If you remove the 500 rows, it will definitely create a remarkable change in your results in your data analysis part. So what we can do in that case, as a scientist, you can able to decide to replace with some constant values. So here I just decided to replace with the value 103. because this is temperature column. By looking other values, I have 101, 102, 103, 104. So I can just decide, being a scientist, some value 103 may be more suitable. So just to fill the value, so the null values can be filled with this 103. So see here now, row number 2 filled with 103. Row number 9 filled with 103. Row number 12 also with 103. So simply we have fill NA function which will fill with the constant value. So according to your data frame, you can able to fill with some constant value according to the values which we have in your data set. This is another option. Or maybe you want to keep some accurate value, you can able to take the average, mean value of this. You can take the mean value of this. Sorry. You can take the mean value of the particular column. So df of temp dot mean, I'm taking the mean value, will be stored in the variable average. So just execute this. So I just store it in the variable average, print average. So the mean value is 102. You know that average value of all the temperature what is there in your data set is 102. I can fill with that average value. So just to display or show to you the difference, I just calculated average separately and print here. So 102 is the average of all the temperature value. Sometimes you cannot make assume that 103. You can take the average value. So it will take average value of all the particular column, and the average value will be replaced. Now you see row 2 will be replaced with 102. Row 9 also will be replaced with 102, and row 12 also will be replaced with 102. So like we have different options to handle the null values. You can follow which method is more suitable for your research or what data source you have. According to the data source, you can decide to replace, drop the null values, or you can fill the null value with some constant, or you can so here in the previous example, I'm just using df.fillNA. In this case, whatever column I have this null value, it will fill with this. But if you want to fill the null value for the specific column, also possible, df of temp. So only for the temp column, if the values are null, I just fill with 103, because in my data source other columns have no null value. So I cannot explain, just these null values can be, this is the way how you can handle the null values. Also, you can keep this drop NA, general drop NA will delete the rows which have null value in any column. Sometimes I want to drop the row which have null value only in this temperature column. I can specify subset equal to temperature. Means if the temperature column has null value, that will be dropped. In case other columns have any null value, that will not be dropped. That is the meaning of this function. So we have a lot of manipulations in it. You can use even here in age column, if you have any null value, which will be dropped. Since I don't have null value in this age column, no effect in this query. Also, you can able to, this is a greater achievement for sometimes you want to, even as a university or autonomous college, we know we at the end of the semester we will analyze the result, and we see sometimes if any one of the subject there are more failures which are very close to passing grade. Like for example, if 50 is the passing mark, around 20 percentage of the students secured more than 45. So if we give maximum 5 marks, those students will be passed. So for them, we can give marks is greater than 45 and less than 50. You can make it 50. So just giving some bonus mark. Some autonomous colleges, some universities will do this process to improve or enhance their results. So we can do this this is also possible in Python very easily. So these are the different ways. Also, you can find the duplicate values. If any two rows are same or duplicate, which will becomes true. So now since all are false, means all rows are distinct. So these are the different ways to handle data. Now let me show you some of the visualization technique, because when you go for data analysis, this graphs will make a lot of understanding. You can draw some graphs with the help of data. From the graph you can able to understand many things. So first we need to understand how to draw the graphs in Python. So I'm not going to explain in depth, but just I would like to show you some of the basic visualization concepts, like how to draw. We use matplotlib library to draw the graphs. Also some graphs will be drawn with help of Seaborn. Even not a computer scientist, other department researchers can also be easily learn these codes, and they can able to expose their research results in a excellent graphical representation. Because majority of the people, they do research, they have the research, very good research output, but they failed in representing these research output in a graphical representation. So this Python is very easy tool to develop graphical representation. Just I will show you some of the example. X is equal to, these are some values. X, we know when you construct the graph, we need X and Y values. So I'm taking X values. For Y, I didn't assign any value, just taking empty, but I just calculated I squared, this X squared, 0.2 into 0.2, because this for I in X, this is the special feature in Python. X will take each value from this, I will take each value from X. First time it will take 0.2, then 0.5, then 1.2, likewise until the last value. This for loop will be repeated. Every time I will be powered to, I squared will be calculated, and that will be stored in the Y. Just for calculations, I create Y array. When I print X and Y, see, this is my X value and these are the Y values. It will 0.2 squared, 0.5 squared, 1.2 squared, 2.4 squared, likewise. That's another. So we know we have the X and Y values. Now the simple steps to draw the graph is plot X comma Y. PLT is the object of matplotlib. I mean, alias name of this matplotlib, pyplot. So I'm just using simple name PLT. PLT dot plot is the function which will draw the graph against X and Y. See, this graph will be drawn x-axis. This is Y value, and the graph will be drawn. We no need anything, just a simple step, X and Y values, and plot is the function will draw the graph. Apart from that, if you want to decorate your graph with something else, you can able to keep X label x-axis. So this is my X label x-axis, Y label y-axis. So this is Y label, and you want to keep the title, yes, my first chart in Python. And finally, you should show the graph will show here. This is the graph will display. So these are the things are optional, which I want to show, or I want to expose the details of the graph, but very simple steps to draw the graph, X value, Y value, and plot. Okay, I have another example which I will draw multiple plots, where I will draw multiple plots. See here, I am taking X value with the help of arrange function, which will take the value from 0 to 20 with the range 0.5, 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5 in this way. So X value 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5. The arrange function will generate the values in this way. And Y, I am calculating X squared. So the square of X will be calculated. For Z, cube of x. X cube will be calculated. So these are the x values, these are the y values, and these are the z values. All the values I have. Now I just wanted to draw multiple plots. Plot x comma y, this plot will be drawn against x and y values, and you can pass the color attribute. If you don't pass, by default it will draw with blue color, and if you pass the color, it will draw with the color orange. So see here you have orange color line with the x and y values. Similarly, the next plot will be drawn with x and z values, x comma z, and here color equal to r. For color, you can specify the complete color name in small letter or first letter or for red. So this line will drawn with red color. But there is a thickness between these two lines because I mentioned here line width equal to 6. By default, the line width is 1, so that it will draw. Even if you don't specify, it will draw with the default values with the default colors. Whatever you want to change, you can give its value, no problem. And even X label, Y label, title, show, these things. So what if you want to keep X label, Y label values, you can keep it, and you can keep the title also. And these are the abbreviations of colors. For B for blue, G for green, or C for cyan, magenta, yellow, black, and white. Because for black, B already we used. For blue, it is K. Either you can use the complete name or this letter. Both are same. Also, I can use this SEI pi to draw some statistical calculation I can apply, and I can draw the graph. See here, I take the x value from minus 10 to plus 10 with the range of 0.01. So minus 10 to plus 10. Then I can draw the plot against x value and the PDF function, probability density function. Probability density function. See, this is the formula for probability density function. Exponent of minus x squared by 2 divided by square root of 2 pi. Probability density function, where it will take the mean value is 0 and the standard deviation value is 1. This is mean, this is standard deviation, and it will draw the graph. Similarly, I can draw another graph with two probability density function. The first one x. I didn't pass the mean and median value, standard deviation. It will take the average value. For the second one, mean value is 2, standard deviation value is 2, color is green. So the second one drawn with green color. So according to these values, you can draw, even you can apply any kind of mathematical functions or statistical functions. Everything is readily available in Python. Just you can use the function name to do the calculations. Even I have the annotate function, which will give you the label for the curve. Annotate first curve. See here, the first curve will be appeared. Annotate second curve. Here in the second curve will be appeared. Likewise, you can able to keep the label for your plots with the help of the annotate function. Like, there are so many options available to enhance the quality of the graph. See again, a range minus 4 to plus 4, the range will be 0.002. You can also fix the limit, because in the previous one, according to the size, it automatically fixed the limits. And here you can fix the limit, x limit minus 5 to plus 5, y limit 0 to 1. See here, x limit minus 5 to plus 5, y limit 0 to 1. Okay. Apart from this, you can specify the range, x limit minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2. So since you specify, it will take all these values. And here for y ticks 0, 0.1, 0.2, and so on. So it will take the values, whatever you have given. So even if you don't give, it will take automatically the range based on the values which you have given, or you want to explicitly specify the x ticks and y ticks value, you can use by x ticks function, y ticks function. And also you want to make it grid. In the previous graph, we don't have any grid. See, we have in this graph, there is a grid. So if you want to draw the grid, you can use ax.grid. Then you draw the graph plot, and the plot, because there are two plots I have, both plots will be annotate second curve. So the annotation is given only for the second curve. There is no annotate for the first curve. And legend, this is another important feature. What it describes, see here, the red describes the first curve, blue describes the second curve. This can be given with the help of legend. Location is equal to lower right. There are four options: lower left, lower right, upper left, upper right. So wherever you want, you can use. Lower left means this side will display. Lower right means this side will display. Upper right means it will display here. Upper left means it will display here. Likewise, you can construct your graph more efficiently. Also, we have here with some symbols. See, there are many symbols available. I have given the link here. I will share the PPT later. You can find what are the symbols are available to draw the graph. You can use those symbols. See here, R means red color here. 3 is a symbol. So it will use the symbol. This is the 3 symbol. And here G is green color, H is the symbol, hexagon shape. It will draw with the hexagon shape. Like there are numerous shapes available. You can use any shape which you want to draw your graph. So X, Y, the values are X, Y. Apart from that, you can specify the color, shapes, label, what label you want to display, everything you can able to arrange in this. Also, you can draw the pie chart. You know this very simple plt.py, the values. What are the values you have? It will. The title, this is the title. Even in the pie chart, you can able to make what? Values. These are the values. Explode. If you want to highlight something to be explored. See here, I just wanted to highlight where there is more number of students. In TOC, there are more number of students, which is exploded with the 0.2. Means it will deviated from the normal graph. See here. And whereas in which course we have less number of students, 6, which is 0.1, it is little deviated. So when you draw the graph itself will speak the importance of your data, and the people, those who are watching this, they can able to understand what the graph says easily. So these are the different options. With simple tricks we can able to do it. Labels, what label you want to give. First one, database, English, TOCC. The labels are mentioned here in the graph. And the title, show. Like that, even if you want to display the percentage of values, you can able to make it easily. And you here the colors are opted by default. We are not specifying any color. If you want to specify the color explicitly, you can specify. So according to the color which you have given, it will display. And also you can construct the bar graph. See here, plt.bar, the range of values from 0 and 5. Height, what is the height? And width, what is the width of your bar? 0.5. Like different colors. Colors are mentioned here: red, green, blue, cyan, magenta. Red, green, blue, cyan, magenta. Whatever color you have given, it will draw the graph. So these are some of the basic graphs which I have constructed. Even if you have huge amount of data, you can draw the scatter plotter diagram. See here, scatter diagram, which is, it shows that the data which are very close to each other and the data which are all outliers. For sometimes the data which is very far, like this, we can consider these data are outliers and which is not important, which will not affect much on our results. We can ignore those data. So when you draw this scatter diagram, it is easy to identify how many, what you can say, the outliers are there, how to exclude those values, and you will take the closer related records to finalize your data analysis. So this is how you, even we have another graph which is called as what you can say, multiple plots you can draw in one graph. So in one graph, I want to show different results. Yes, it is possible. I can draw with multiple graphs. How come? You can use the concept of subplot. First figure size you can give. How much size you want, you can give. The subplot, how many graphs you want to draw. If I want to draw 4, I can use 2 comma 2, means 2 rows and 2 columns. That total 4 graphs. In case you want to draw 6 graph, you can use 2 comma 3 or 3 comma 2. If you use 2 comma 3, 2 rows and 3 columns, means the first row 3 graphs will appear, second row 3 graphs will appear. Or if you use 3 comma 2, first row 2, second row 2, third row 2, like that. Okay, this is representing how many total graphs, 2 comma 2, 2 rows and 2 columns, in which this is the first graph. So the first graph will be plotted x comma y cos value or minus minus symbol. So this minus minus is the symbol, red color. See here, red color minus minus symbol. The graph will be drawn against the value x comma y cos. Similarly, the second plot, 2 comma 2, 2 rows, 2 columns. This is same for all the graphs. Only the difference here, 2, which is the second graph. So this is the second graph, which is star in blue color. See here, blue color, star symbol. So star in blue color. If you want to change, you can change whatever symbol you want. The third one, 2 rows, 2 columns. This is the third figure. Third figure will be what? Magenta color. I didn't give any symbol. See, by default, it will draw with line. Magenta color. I didn't give any symbol. And the last one, 2 rows, 2 columns. Fourth graph, green color with this symbol. With this symbol. So green color with this symbol, it will draw. Likewise, how many graphs you want to draw in one image, one figure, you can able to use this subplot to draw the graph. So most of the researchers, they have multiple research techniques and they want to show the results in an effective way. They can use this program to show this result. So these are the some important visualization technique which we are going to use in our research work. Maybe this will be useful for everyone to represent their results in an effective way. This is enough. Even these are the sample data which I have taken. You can able to take your data set as a data frame and you can draw any kind of table, any kind of figure which you want, any kind of figure, whatever is possible, any chart is possible. Like, so this is what I would like to show you here about this Python data frame, all those things. So I hope everybody will understand what we have discussed here. The second part which I would like to explain is machine learning technique. Because nowadays, which is very important for every industry or institution, everywhere they are wanted to go for automation. When you want to go for automatic, you must implement these machine learning techniques to do everything. So here, machine learning is the field of artificial intelligence that a computer program can learn and adapt to new data without human intervention. See, we'll see the theoretical part here. Let me move to the practical part later to explain how the machine learning technique will be implemented with real-time data. So machine learning is the field of artificial intelligence that a computer program can learn and adapt to new data without human intervention. We know that we all are teaching fraternity and we know what is machine learning technique. We are trying to make your machine to learn everything with the help of the data which is available. And the machine will give you the guideline for the future decision. Machine learning based on the idea that systems can learn from data, identify the pattern, and make decisions with minimal human intervention or without human intervention. This is machine learning. Machine learning is part of AI. Inside machine learning, we have neural networks and we have deep learning. Now we have Gen AI. This is the structure of this artificial intelligence. We will just look into only the part of machine learning technique. what is machine learning life cycle? Whenever you want to implement a machine learning technique, the first step is to define your problem. Clearly define your problem, for which problem you are trying to find the solution. After defining the problem, collect the data set. Which data set is more suitable or which is required to solve the problem. Construct your data set. When you construct the data set, maybe it has some noisy data or it may have some null values, something like that. We know we should transform the data, which includes cleaning, conversion, many things will be there. We know the steps. So we can do even some of the deleting the null value or replacing with some constant value. So we discuss something like that. So you can do transform the data and then train the model. Model should be trained. Model should be trained with the help of the machine learning technique which you want to implement. We have so many machine learning techniques. Which is more suitable to you to get the solution? You can use that technique to train your model. After that, use the model to make further future predictions. So these are the different steps. We will see one by one now what is there in this. Machine learning categories. Machine learning divided into 4 broad categories: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning, semi-supervised learning. So supervised learning, also called predictive learning, a machine predicts the class of unknown objects on prior class related information because your inputs are already categorized or labeled. From that, when you give the new value, it will categorize easily. For example, the marks from 90 to 100 is A grade, 80 to 90 is B grade. So when you give the new marks, automatically your system easily categorize which grade the mark given is. Unsupervised learning, also called descriptive learning, a machine finds the pattern in unknown object. Here we don't have the data. The data are not categorized into label. From that, your system to understand and predict the future. Reinforcement learning is a machine learns to act its own to achieve the given goals. A trial and error method. It will try in some way, check the result. If the result is not satisfied or find the mistakes where you have done, it will correct the mistakes and again try to execute. In this way, trial and error basis, you will get the accurate result at the end. Semi-supervised learning, which combines the best supervised and unsupervised learning technique, which is called semi-supervised. See here, as I told you before, machine learning, we have supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement. There are so many techniques or algorithms available. In supervised learning, many classification regression algorithms, unsupervised learning clustering, reinforcement learning, some decision-making algorithm, many algorithms are there. Most of the algorithms are implemented in Python. So you can simply use this technique name in your data set and you can able to get the result easily. So supervised learning, we are using regression and classification, unsupervised learning, clustering and dimension reductions, semi-supervised clustering and classification, reinforcement, classification and control. So again, as I told you before, supervised learning, the model learns from the labeled data. The data are already categorized, already labeled data sets with the tags or labels provide meaning. For example, predicting the house prices, classifying email as spam or not spam. These are the example of supervised learning. And there are so many algorithms available. Logistic, this is for classification purpose. Support vector machine, gradient boosting machine, neural networks, many things are there. You can just go through it. I would like to show you only one algorithm here, KNN algorithm. K nearest neighbor. So the data, we have two classes of data. See, we have a class of data, class 1, which is, this is class 2. So we have class 1 here, class 2 here. And I'm taking one test point here. This is. Now I'm using K equal to 3 nearest neighbor. It's up to you. You can use any number of nearest neighbor. So here I want to categorize this is which type, whether it is class 1 or class 2. For that, I'm taking 3 nearest neighbor data. So 1, 2, 3. 3 nearest neighbor I have taken to identify this is whether class 1 or class 2. And here we have two techniques, as I told you, classification and regression. According to classification, the majority voting, here we have class 1, 2 data and class 2 only 1. So since 2 data are very close from class 1, this can be categorized as class 1. This is according to classification, the majority voting technique. The second one in regression, see here it is very careful. Regression, average of k nearest neighbors will be taken. So it will take the average of these two values and average of this class value. Which average is more? It will be categorized into that point. So here, according to this, it may be categorized with class 2. So because here we don't have numbers, we cannot calculate. It will take the average of these values, average of class 1 and average of class 2 separately. Which average is close to that newly coming data, accordingly it will be categorized. So k and then improve 4 step, choose the k value, either 3 or 4 or 2 according to you. Calculate the distance between the new and existing data points. Find k closest data points. And for classification, vote for majority classes. For regression, compute the average value. Fine. Next, for regression, also we have linear, ridge regression, lasso regression. There are many techniques. We no need to go in depth for all these because we may not have time to explain everything. Unsupervised learning deals with unlabeled data, aiming to uncover hidden patterns, cluster, or relationships. For example, customer segmentation, the type of customer is anomaly detection in network traffic. There we do not have any predefined labeled data, but we should find out with the help of unsupervised learning. Even here for clustering, dimensionality reduction, we have huge number of algorithms. You can use which algorithm is more suitable to you, or we can try with one algorithm. If not getting the exact result, you can go with another algorithm. Density estimation, anomaly detection, there are many algorithms. Reinforcement learning, the model learns by trial and error, receiving rewards or penalties from its environment. So first time we are doing something, we will see the result. Sometimes maybe 100% wrong or 50% wrong. According to the result, we should decide what changes to be made in the data set or in the technique. And the next run, you may get some achievement, some progress. Even like when you play some game, first time you may not get the good result, you will fail, and the next time you will try and get past. This is the way. Training robots to walk, in the first trial definitely the robot will not walk 100% perfectly. So you do some mistake, you try, and next time you can correct this mistake. You can understand what mistake you have done, and like keep on continuously trying, you will get 100% accurate result. Teaching AI to play chess. So these are the examples of reinforcement learning, which is just trial based error, trial and error base. Even here we have many algorithm, Q learning, deep Q networking, SARSA, actor critic methods, policy gradient method. Many algorithms are there. We can learn these things even for time series algorithm, specialized algorithms, deep learning algorithms. Many algorithms are there. We can just go through everything, and we should understand which algorithm is more suitable for our data to process. Semi-supervised learning combines the best supervised and unsupervised learning. It uses small amount of labeled data and a large amount of unlabeled data to build models. Small amount of labeled data, large amount of unlabeled data, because usually the labeled data may be more costly than unlabeled data. That's the reason why. Text classification, medical image analysis, e-commerce recommendations all or comes under this semi-supervised learning. Even we have some algorithm to perform. Okay, now let me explain only few techniques like some regression, some classification techniques. Before going to that, we need to understand what are the steps to be carried out when you implement this machine learning technique. The first step, you need to import the libraries what you want, the libraries which is required to implement our program. Then import the data set which data set you are going to use to solve your problem. Clean the data set. We know we have discussed some of the cleaning techniques like deleting the row or replacing with some values against the null value, like these things. Exploratory analysis. Split the data set into training set and test set. This is more important because you have 100 rows. You have to split some 20 or some 30 rows for training and sorry, 70 rows for training and 30 rows for test likewise. Creating the regression model which you want using the training set and predict the test set result. Use the model to test your results with the help of the test set because we have the output for that. So you can check, evaluate the performance of the model. If the performance is above the accepted level, you can just proceed with that. If the performance is not up to the level, you just revise your data set. Maybe the test sample training and test size can be changed, or maybe some algorithm may be changed, whatever change you want to do, and you can do the new predictions once the evaluation is better. Now, let me start here. See here, this is simple regression. This is simple regression. I'm taking the data set. I'm just pandas pyplot, matplotlib, because I draw some graphs. That's why I'm using pyplot. Pandas for data source. I have this data file, salary data SLR. CSV file. This is the salary data file as a CSV. So I just use read underscore CSV method to read the data from this CSV file, and the data will be read and it will display. See the data here. It has only two columns, years of experience and salary. So my data set have only two columns, years of experience and salary. Now in this place, after uploading your data set, we need to do cleaning everything. But since the data are cleaned, there is no null value, nothing. I don't want to do any other steps again because we already discussed, right? The cleaning process, what we have discussed. You can apply those cleaning techniques and clean your data. After cleaning the data, we should understand which data are dependent, which are independent. Here, for example, salary is the data which depends on years of experience. The people who has less experience, their salary will be less. Who has more experience, their salary will be more. So here salary is the dependent variable. Years of experience is independent variable. For the first step, you should understand from the data set which is the dependent variable, which is the independent variable, and you should divide or separate the dependent variable and independent variable. Let me show you how the separation will be. df.ilog, we know we have discussed this ilog function already, colon comma colon -1. This will store all the rows and all columns except the dependent variable, last column. So except last column, all other columns will be stored in the variable x. Since I have only two columns, except the last column salary, all other columns, only the remaining column years of experience will be stored in the variable x. And iloc of colon comma -1, which will take the last column, which is dependent variable. This will be stored in the variable y. So this is your first step. Take your data, clean your data set. After done everything, you have to take the dependent variable and independent variable separately. mostly the last column will be the dependent variable and all other columns are independent. I just divide all independent columns are stored in the variable X and the dependent variable will be stored in the variable Y. I just print X, see the result now. When I print X, years of experience will display here. All 29 records, I think I have 29 or 30 records because it starts from 0 to 29. 30 records, all 30 years of experience will display, and the Y having the salary, all 30 salary will be displayed under the variable Y. So this is the important step to divide or separate the independent and dependent variable. I hope everybody understand what is dependent, what is independent. Here in this example, salary is dependent on the years of experience. So years of experience is independent variable. Salary is dependent variable. Even in the future prediction, if I give some years of experience, your system able to predict what salary he may get. This is what our aim. Okay. So after dividing this, I just wanted to split train test split. Trained data and test data I want to split. Okay, for that we use the module train test split. This module is there in this sklearn model selection. So from sklearn model selection library, I would like to import train underscore test underscore split. Okay, here very easiest step, we can use x train, x test, y train, y test, because for both data X and Y, we have training data, we have test data. So I just use the variable to understand easily. X underscore train, X underscore test, Y underscore train, Y underscore test is equal to train underscore test underscore split, same module name of X comma Y, of X comma Y. Here, I'm just specifying the test size. Test underscore size is equal to 0.2, which means 20% of the records are for test purpose. The remaining 80% of data will make train the system. Sometimes depends on the database you can use. If you have only like for example more rows, you can decide the percentage accordingly, but mostly majority of the people use 20% for test and 80% for training the system, because we need more data to train the system. Once the system is trained with a huge amount of data, you will get more accurate result. This is the logic. So maximum as much as possible, you can use the data for training and the remaining will be used for test. Here I'm taking test size 20%, means remaining 80% will be used for training. Automatically 80% of the records will be stored in X train and X test. Sorry, the 20% will be stored in X test. Similarly, 80% will be stored in Y train and 20% will be stored in Y test from the column X and Y, means from years of experience and salary. I just will display all these values. So this is 80%. 20% means I have only 30 records, means how many it will come? 6 rows. So these are the 6 rows are test X value. This is test Y values. The remaining 24 are X train and these are the Y train. So these X train and Y train values will be used to train your model. For that, I need to create the model first. So to create the model, which model you want? I want linear regression. You no need to write any program. Just import the linear regression from Python library. So import linear regression. I'm just creating regressor, any variable you can use here. Regressor is equal to linear regression. So the model will be created here. The model will be created here once. I just run this code. So the model will be created. This step will help you to create the model. After creating the model, I just train my system with the help of the training value. Fit with the help of the function fit. X train, comma, Y train. I'm passing this training values, X train and Y train as argument to this fit function. So fit function will train the regressor, this model. Now, if I run this code, you see now the model is built. The model is built and trained successfully with the help of trained data. Now you can use this model to check with your test data. See here now, regressor dot predict of X test. I am passing the X test value, and predict is a function which will predict from the system. Just I am passing the test value, I am predicting. So now this will predict and give me this result. But actual test result is this. See the difference now? There are some differences, but not 100% correct. But see, again, I just display the X test, what are the values are there. Now you can calculate the score. The score, I just wanted to display this. According to this value, score is 0.94. If it is above 0.9, means your result is correct. I mean, approximately correct. So we can draw some graph also. You can see now the difference between the X test and Y predicted values are in red color. X test and Y predicted values are in green color with, see here, this is line. Line will be drawn and the points are marked as what? X test Y predict with the green color. Here scatter diagram with the X test Y test. See, this is very close. These two data are very close. Some differences are there. Little differences are there between the actual data and the predicted value. Even now, maybe I draw this graph, it will be some different values. See now. And you have this MSE, RMSE, MAE, R2 score. This let me explain in the PPT later. You can calculate these things and check the R2 score value. If the R2 score value is above 0.9, which means mostly your system is perfect, almost close to the perfect, not exact perfect, almost close to the perfect. So you can use this system for prediction. Now, regressor dot predict of, I'm giving the new experience 6.5. If any employee joined in your institution with the 6.5 years, they get the salary 87,579. With the 7.5 years experience, they will get salary 97,000. 17.5 years experience, they will get salary 1,92,000. Like you can give new values and your regressor, your system will understand. I mean, whatever it is trained, how the system is trained according to the existing value, it will predict the value for the, I mean, salary for the new experience values. So this is how you can easily implement the machine learning techniques in Python. Similar step could be used for other techniques also, but this only difference is you can change the regression value method, which technique you are going to use it. Here also I'm going to use multilinear regression. This is another example, multiple linear regression. Okay, same thing. But here I take another example, which is 50 startups MLR.csv. So I just import the libraries, upload the CSV file, and the CSV file has 50 rows. Yes, from 0 to 50 rows. There are columns like R&D spend, administrator, marketing spend, state, profit. So these are the columns. Ultimately here, what is our independent variable and dependent variable? So profit is the final result, which is dependent variable. The profit is depends on R&D spend, administration, how much they spend for administration and for marketing. Even for the state, if it is really needed, you can use it. If sometimes not required, you can ignore. But since for analysis, even though you have text, the text should be converted as numeric value. How do we convert? See here, let me show you here. How many unique values are there in this? How many unique values are there? I have 3 unique values. Sometimes because of spelling mistake, you may get more. If there is a spelling mistake, you can correct it. So first here, everything is fine. So I can use New York, California, and Florida, 3 values. What I do, replace New York with 1, California with the 2, Florida with the 3. I just convert this text information into numeric. See here now, the state column has numeric value. Yes. So this is your primary part, because with the text column, it is very difficult to analyze. So first you must convert distinct values into numeric column. After converting this, you see all these columns are really required to do my analysis. Sometimes the state column is not required because the profit is based on R&D, administration, and marketing. So I no need to pay because I'm not going to calculate state wise. So since you do not need that column, you can drop the column, drop state column. So I just drop this column in place equal to true, which means now the data frame itself, the column state will be removed. In the data frame itself, the column state will be removed. You see, when I display now, it has only what? R&D spend, administration, marketing, and what you can say, profit. Only these are the column because the state column has been deleted from this. Fine. Now, as usual steps, you have to divide the independent variable and a dependent variable. Here I have 3 independent variables. R&D spend, administration spend, marketing spend or independent variable. Profit is the dependent variable. Similar step we are using to divide the data set. iloc of colon, comma, colon, -1 dot values. Here iloc of colon, comma, -1 dot values. So it has the independent variable, y has the dependent variable. I'm printing x and y. X has 3 different values and y has only 1 value, right? For all the rows, right? Now, I just wanted to train, split, test and split. Here also I'm using 20%. So how much percent you want, you can use it accordingly. I'm using 20% again to divide my data set. Maybe. Sorry, I didn't execute this line. Because of that, it shows error. So the test and trained data set will be splitted and it will be stored in X train, X test, Y train, Y test. Okay. Now I am creating linear regression. This is linear regression. It will be created here. And I just wanted to fit with my training value, X train, comma, Y train. So my system will be trained now. Yes, it is ready with linear regression. You can use this for predict. When you execute for predict, you see now this is the predicted values and you compare with the y-test value. What is the predicted value? What is the y-test value? Maybe there is a small difference, not much. And also you can calculate this, you can draw the diagram to understand the differences and you can calculate this R2 score. The R2 score will be 0.96, means if it is 0 point above 9, that's it. The system approximately it gives you the correct result, not exactly 100%. In case if you get 1.0, it is well and good. If it is less than 0.9 or less than 0.8 or 0.5, means your system is not perfect. You have to change the values. How do you change? The first step you can try with changing the test and the training size. And the second step, you can change your model. Maybe some other model will be more suitable to analyze this data. Even here also, if I give, like this is what, there are 3 different values like for administration, for research for something. If you give these three values, what will be the profit? It will be predicted automatically. So again, I am giving three different values and I can see the predict. Like you can make your system to learn from the existing data what it has, and it can make the decision accordingly. Like we have another method which I would like to show you because still we have time, no issues. Decision tree classifier. This is a decision tree classifier, same method. So you have to import the libraries, read the CSV file. Here I'm using iris.csv. Iris.csv file. You can use read CSV. You can read the file. And it has how many columns? 5 columns. The sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width, and the target. So now your ultimate goal is to find the target from these 4 values. So that means these 4 are the independent variable and the target is the dependent variable. Fine. Okay. I have how many rows now? Here I just used head. It displays only 4. Maybe I can check with unique. May any different values or any spelling mistake is there or not. Nothing is there now. So it will display everything. I have only these 3 columns. Fine. Now, how many rows are there? ILOC of colon minus 1. Separate the x and y values means independent variable and dependent variable. X is the independent variable which has 4 columns. So I have 4 columns. Total 150 rows are there. These 4 columns together called as x, which is independent variable, and y is the target which has the dependent variable. This is the dependent variable, and I have 150 values here. Fine. So you should divide, identify and separate the dependent and independent variables here. Now in this example, I just wanted to use 15%. 15% for test. That means the remaining 85% will be used for train the system. So how much the maximum you use the training data set, your system will be trained accordingly. The maximum training data will help you to make the system learn more effectively. This is what the logic. So here I just divide the train and test data set. So you have train data, test data sites, everything will be displayed. Now I'm using decision tree classifier. I don't know whether I execute or not. So it will divide the data. After divide the data, I'm using here decision tree classifier. Import decision tree classifier. So I create the model equal to decision tree classifier, and the model can be trained with the help of fit function, passing the value x train comma y train. Fit passing the value x train comma y train. Here the decision tree classifier is developed. The model has been developed. The model has been developed, and after developing the model, it is trained with the help of fit function x train and y train. So you will get this message. Once you get this message means your system is trained properly. Your system is trained properly. Fine. Then model dot predict x test. So I'm just predict with the x test value. These are the prediction values. So I just pass the x test value. What is the prediction? Now I'm just preparing confusion matrix. This is very important part to understand how your system is working properly. So I'm calculating the accuracy score, which is 0.91%. Fine. See here. Okay, where is the mistake? You can easily understand. This confusion matrix will make you clear understanding about your data. Say for example, I have 3 categories. In the first category, 7 rows are exactly identified properly. Only 7 data I have all the 7 data identified properly, nothing is wrongly identified, 0, 0. Whereas in the second row, I have 10 rows properly identified, 2 are wrongly identified. Out of 12 comes under the second category, which is 10 are identified correctly, 2 are wrongly identified. Whereas maybe on the third category, out of 4, all 4 are correctly identified. So with this confusion matrix, you can easily understand. How the system is predicted. See here now, because now I am executing, it is 95%. When I create this confusion matrix, see now, out of 4 in the first category, all 4 are categorized properly. Out of 10 in the second category, all 10 are categorized properly because here and here are 0. The third one, out of 9, 1 is wrongly identified, categorized. Only one data is wrongly categorized. So out of 10 plus 8 plus 4, 23, 22 data are properly identified so that the percentage of performance is 95. Even if it is 95%, it is good. When you predict with the new data, when you pass this new data, you will get maybe if you pass these 4 values, what is the category it is. So like even if I pass with some different values also, your system will give you the new result. Maybe for example here 12.85, 9.25, 25.14, 9.32. If you run this, you will see this is Iris virginica. This is versicolor. See, the previous one is versicolor and this is virginica. Like you can pass any values and your system will give you the correct result. So the thing, all the steps are common. Only thing you can use which method you are going to adopt. So in the previous, we used linear regression, and here it is decision tree classifier. Even I have one more example with this classification. Let me show you here KNN classifier. KNN classifier I'm using, I think with this, okay. So again, same thing, we can import the library files. I just use the same file here, iris.csv, same columns are there. So there is no difference here. This is the dependent variable, and these 4 are sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width are the independent variables. You can categorize this independent and dependent variable. So the variables are categorized, I mean splitted. Then you can use the test to sample size. Here I'm using the test to size is 20%. If you want to change, you can change to 15%. It's up to you. So I will just execute from the beginning. Here I'm using K-neighbors classifier. Only the library file which you want, which technique you want, you can import the proper library. So you can train your model with this K-neighbor classifiers. And sorry, I made mistake somewhere, I think. Then this predict will give you the result, whatever, because you pass the test values. When you pass test value against the test value, your system will produce the predicted value. And you can compare the performance of the system. See, the accuracy of the system is 0.96. So the accuracy is 0.96. When you draw the confusion matrix, out of 11, all correctly predicted. Out of 10 in the second category, all correctly predicted. Here, out of 9, only 1 predicted wrongly, 8 are predicted correctly. So that there is 96% result. And you can pass the new values. You can able to predict the results. So this is how we are implementing all the machine learning techniques. Any kind of machine learning techniques you can able to implement here. Now, let me show you here. See, these are the steps which we followed. Import the libraries, import the data set, clean the data set, and perform exploratory analysis, split data into training and test size, creating the model which you want, predict the test set results, and performance evaluation, make new predictions. Now, the splitting the training and test set used to estimate the performance of machine learning algorithm. The train set is used to fit the model and the test data is used for predictions. Train test split function is available in scikit-learn library model selection module. By default, the test set is split into 30% and the remaining 70% of data are training data, which helps you to train your system. And according to the number of data which you have, you can change this percentage and you can check the performance of the system, whether you get the correct result or not. Sometimes you can keep 20% for test and 80% for training. As I told you before, more training data will make your system more, better performance system. As we discussed before, some formulas to calculate mean squared error, which is it measures the average of squared differences between the predicted values and the actual values. So average of the square differences, average of the square difference between the predicted value. So it will take the square of predicted value and actual value, and it takes its average, find the difference, and it takes the average. A lower MSE indicates better performance. Always this MSE value must be lower. If it is low, your system performance is good. A root mean square error, just RMSE. This is a square root of MSE. So we calculate the MSE value and its square root will be calculated, provides more interpretable metric. And R squared, this metric measures the proportion of variance in the target variable explained by the model, and R2 score of 1 indicates the perfect fit. If the R2 score is 1 exactly, your system is trained 100% perfectly and it produces all the data correctly, while a score 0 indicates that the model has no better than predicting the mean value of the target variable. So we just keep approximately 0.9 and above means your system is close to accurate. So we can use this way. In case if the result R2 score value will be less than 9.9, what you can do, you can just change the training and test sample size, and you try to execute the similar program with the similar method once again, see the performance how it is. Even though you are not getting the proper result, what you can do, you just change with a different model, because all the models will not be suitable to produce the best performance for all the kind of data which we have. So you can just change with the different model and check your performance, maybe which model is more suitable, you will get the 100% or even approximately more than 90% accurate answer. Mean absolute error, this metric measures the average absolute difference between the predicted and actual values. It is less sensitive to outliers than MSE. So this metric measures the average absolute difference between the predicted and actual values. Note, these scores for linear regression can be compared with other regression models like decision tree, support vector machine, random forest regression, etc. to find the best model. So we take the same data and apply with the different machine learning techniques, check the performance, and find out which model is the best model for prediction of the future. So again, here the PME is mean squared error, same thing which we implemented in the program. And this is your test train split. So test train split is, sorry, here is the mean squared error, RMSE, MAE, R2 score. We discussed all these things. Here it is the model. We create linear regression, and fit is the function which helps you to train the model. And from that we get the result and we can able to compare. I think this is what I want to show you here. So I hope everybody clear. Even here, see the steps which we followed: import the libraries, read the file, input data file, and see the data, understand which is the independent variable and which is the dependent variable. We know that what is dependent variable means, which is your output variable, or because based on the inputs we are getting output. This is your output and these are the inputs. So these inputs are independent variable and this output is the dependent variable. You should divide or separate the dependent and independent variable with the help of ilog function. So ilog function will help you to separate the dependent and independent variable, and after that you have to use train test split to divide the training and test data. So normally we can use 30%, sometimes depends on your number of data. You can use either 20% or 15%, whatever you want. If you specify 0.2 here, which means test data size is 20%, remaining 80% will be used for training the system. So you can create the model. For that also you should import which model you want to create. Import the library file. Here I import k-neighbors classifier, like whatever, even regression, whatever you want, you can use that. And you should train your system with the help of this k-neighbors classifier and fit the model with your training data. With your training data. And then you can use this predict function to predict the value. So when you use this predict function in the model and pass the X test, you will get results. What is there in your actual result, you can compare Y test result. And with this, you can create the confusion matrix, or you can create R2 score, everything. And with this, you can see the performance, accuracy value. As I told you, if the accuracy value is 0.9 and above, means your system is good. And you can use predict with the new values, the system will produce the result. With this, I would like to conclude my session. What I want to share with you, I hope I shared everything. Maybe if you have any doubt, anything need to clarify, you can take few minutes to discuss with me.
Participants, if you have any queries, you can drop it down in the Zoom chat box, or can also unmute and speak. Any queries from the participant side? Yes, sir. We'll share a session, sir, in WhatsApp. So there is a question, sir. How we research in this area?
How we research in this area?
Yes, sir. Asked by
You can use this for any area, wherever you want to predict based on your existing values. You can upload the existing value as an CSV file, follow the steps which I have given. You can able to implement. There is no issue. So any database, you can take it, use the same program to upload, and you can use the new data to predict what will be the future. Even for example, in our university or college, there are admission every year. You know that the admission from which part, rural or which part of the city, you can able to keep the records, upload this from next year according to the past history for 10 years. You can predict next year how much admission you will get from each and every area. In case where you get less admission according to the statistics, the management may concentrate much It is not only for university admission or college admission. Every kind of business, they can apply this technique to predict for their future. Wherever they feel they get less result, maybe they will take some remedial actions to balance that or to improve the results. Any business, they can apply this.
There is one more question, sir.
Yes, sir. Which
Method-
method is best to measure the accuracy? This is what I said. See, all the methods will not give you, even in my presentation, I mentioned, all the methods will not give you a 100% perfect answer for all the data size. So you can just try with some model first, means some 2-3 models, and compare the results. Which model will give you more suitable result? Take that model for future prediction. I hope it is clear.
Yes, sir. So hope there is no more questions, sir.
Thank you so much for all participants for your patient listening. Thanks to the management for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Dr. S. Rajshekharan, sir, for a session that was rich in insights and remarkably engaging. Your perspective has undoubtedly broadened our understanding. We express our heartfelt gratitude to everyone who has contributed to the success of the today's program. Now I invite Mr. Afzal Bijili, Assistant Professor, to deliver the vote of thanks. Kindly take over, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Very good evening to everyone present here. On behalf of MEASI Institute of Information Technology, it's my honor and privilege to deliver the vote of thanks on successful completion. Yes, ma'am. Hello. Sorry. Okay. On behalf, sorry. Okay. On behalf of MEASI Institute of Information Technology, it's my honor and privilege to deliver the vote of thanks on successful completion of our 5-day virtual faculty development program. First and foremost, we'd like to we, we express our deep gratitude to our esteemed management for their continuous support and encouragement and commitment to the academic excellence. Janab Imtiaz Basha Sahib, President MEASI, Janab Nazar Mohammed Sahib, Honorary Secretary MEASI, Janab Salim Sahib, Honorary Treasurer MEASI, Janab Yusuf Mohammed Sahib, Convener MIIT. Thank you for providing us the platform, guidance, and motivation to organize and execute such impactful academic initiatives. We also extend our sincere thanks to our director, Dr. Usha M., for her unwavering support, motivation, and guidance throughout the entire FDP. Our head of the department, Dr. Vimla Priya MD, for her encouragement, coordination, and valuable leadership in making this program successful. With great pleasure, I would extend our heartful gratitude to our distinguished Day 5 resource person, Dr. Rajashekharan sir. Your session provided clarity, real world application, and depth, making it perfect concluding session to our 5-day journey. We are truly grateful for your valuable time and contribution. We would also like to express our sincere appreciation to all our speakers who enriched this FDP. So, day one, Dr. Adeline Sneha, who is from Asia Pacific University of Technology and Innovation, Kuala Lumpur, who took the topic Introduction to Model Context Protocol. Day 2, Dr. Aishwarya MV from Agni College of Technology, Chennai. The topic handle was Generative AI and NLMs. Day 3, Dr. Suresh Anand, who is from SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai, who took the topic Generative Models for Image and Video Recognition and Analysis. And day 4, Dr. U. Arul, Simtas Engineering, who is from Savita, and the topic was Unlocking the Research Potential of Deep Learning Algorithms. So each of you helped shape this FDP into informative, insightful, and transformative academic experience. A heartfelt thanks to all our participants from MIIT and various institutions across India and abroad for your active engagement, enthusiasm, and meaningful interaction throughout all 5 days. A special appreciation goes to the organizing committee, program coordinators, and technical team for your dedication, commitment, and seamless execution behind the scenes. As we conclude this faculty development program, let us carry forward the knowledge gained and continue to contribute to learning, research, and innovation. So, once again, thank you everyone for being a part of this FDP and making it a grand success. Wishing you all a continued learning, success, and a wonderful evening ahead. So, thank you everyone. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for those sincere and appreciate words, sir. With that, we officially bring the curtains down on the final session of this online international FDP. We deeply appreciate the time, dedication, and enthusiasm of resource persons, participants, organizing committee, and technical team. Participants, the day 5 feedback and attendance link has been shared in the Zoom and YouTube chat boxes. Kindly ensure that you have filled it out. And one more announcement for the participants. All the participants, those who had filled the feedback link, will receive your e-certificate through your registered mail within 2 weeks of time. Once again repeating it, participant will receive your e-certificate through registered mail within 2 weeks of time.
Thank you all to the resource persons, participants, especially the organizing team and all the college faculty for being a huge support and making this FDP a success. We look forward for the participants to come back to us for future FDP.
Thank you, ma'am. As we close this chapter, let us carry forward the knowledge gained, the connections formed, and the inspiration sparked. Wishing every one of you a continued success, growth, and innovation. Thank you, one and all. Have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you, sir. I will leave now.
Yeah, yes, sir. You can, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you
sir.
a lot, sir.
Thank you.
Participants, once again repeating it, the attendance come feedback link has been shared in the chat box. Kindly ensure that you get filled it out for your e-certificate, and you can expect that receiving the e-certificate through your registered mail within 2 weeks of time. Afsal sir, wait for 2 more minutes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Hello.
Hello, yes, ma'am.
Sir, any criteria to receive the e-certificate? As I have given the feedback of 4 days, not 1 day. The second day I have not given the feedback. Can I receive the e-certificate?
Let me discuss and come to ma'am. We need to
Okay,
discuss
okay.
with the higher official. Just ping me a message, I will tell you, ma'am, on Monday.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay, ma'am.
The
Thank you.
same issue is with me also, sir. Due to network issue, I was not able to fill up the feedback form for a day.
Okay, ma'am.
Rest
No,
4 days
no
I filled
issues,
up.
ma'am. We will discuss and let you know in the group itself, ma'am.
Okay, thanks a lot,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Thanks for the so nice session, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
Sabri sir, I'll end the session, I guess, right? It's
One
time.
more minute, sir. One more minute.
Okay.
If they're filling it, and one more time, post it in the YouTube, sir.
Yeah, I posted.
Okay,
Anyway.
sir. Okay, fine.
Sir, please again post that feedback form, sir.
In where, ma'am? In the Zoom chat box, ma'am?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Sir, Zoom में kindly share in Zoom as well as WhatsApp group.
Yeah, not in WhatsApp group, ma'am. We are shared in the Zoom chat box and as well as the YouTube, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you.
After, sir, we can end the meeting, sir.
Okay, sir. Fine, sir.
Thank you a lot, sir.